Hey there, Michael. Happy Wednesday, and I am trekking through Hoth right now because I'm going to try and make this a one take, which is going to be interesting. But I'm going to do that because I don't have a whole lot of time. I just got done with work, and I have a few more preparations for tomorrow, which, believe it or not, is me and Amber's 11th anniversary, which is so I'm following these tracks here. They said I wouldn't make it past the first marker, but look at me now. I haven't been to this park in a while. It's can't really see it, but there's a giraffe here. And there's a dog that doesn't like the giraffe someplace. Anyway, hi. So, I figured that I'd spend the 4 remaining minutes walking around this spooky, snow-infested park, talking to you about a few things that I have been thinking about lately. So, for a while now, I've been kind of trying to reassess how Wow, that dog really either doesn't like the giraffe or me, but I'm a pretty likable person, so it's probably the giraffe. Thing's evil. Anyway, that's pretty cool, about lines. Anyway, so I was going to talk to you in like the 3 remaining minutes now about something that I've been kind of thinking about it for a while, which is I've been re-examining some of my core beliefs and trying to identify them, and basically what I've come up with is that it's slippery on this thing. It's one of my core beliefs. Slippery when wet. At any rate, I've identified that one of my core beliefs is something that's known as, what I now know as the non-aggression principle. And non-aggression principle is really interesting to me because besides the obvious, intent of the word, which means basically, you will not be aggressive towards other people in terms of like violence, of course, but it also turns out to be about kind of not using violence to coerce people, not using really anything to coerce people into things, and that fits well with how I live my life and how I want to be treated as an individual. I believe that that's very important. But so the real key to it is that it really can be applied to governments as well. So a lot of people that I've been reading that are believers in the non-aggression principle state that governments are actually in violation of that because they use police forces and armies to kind of coerce the population into doing what they want. And that's a violation, according to them. There are some others that believe that it's a very unnecessary sacrifice to ensure order, and that makes sense to me. But I do find it interesting. I'm looking at a few things. The first thing that I went to, just because it sounded like a bundle of joy, was anarchy, and fairly interesting arguments. Not really compelling to me, since I kind of feel like letting everyone do whatever they feel like probably isn't going to end very well for the people that can't get their hands on guns. However, I started looking at a few things called minarchy. And minarchy is actually fairly interesting to me, and I'd like to get your view on that, maybe in the next video, or maybe through texting or whatever. But basically the idea of minarchy is that Yes, governments violate the non-aggression principle. They are coercing some people to the views of other people. However, seeing as how that's necessary for society to exist, it's important to note that that it is still necessary. However, it's also possible to limit that to a large extent. And essentially what that would mean is that there would be some sort of organization for defense of the country, probably only defense, so probably something more along the lines of a militia and a police force. So things such as roads, everything from roads to probably, I don't know, it depends on the person. Yeah, so I found that fairly interesting, and I think that there's some compelling arguments for it. However, I also realize that there are a lot of problems with it, and I just like to get your take on the whole thing. I think what's most interesting to me is that I'd never really realized how closely aligned with my own principles the idea of completely rejecting the form of government that we have now actually is. I'm still trying to figure out if that's a problem with my principles or if it's a problem with the system. But yeah, so any thoughts that you have on that would be cool. And look at some snow for a second while I check the time. And I'm way over. Okay, cool. Well, I will see you later, and I look forward to being punished. Not really. Please don't do it.